Hello, my name is Mimi Jacobs, the Ink Genius, and welcome to my InkGenius creative writing class. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I've always loved writing since I was a small child, but before I wasn't very good at it. So I took a class. And now, with a bit of help, I've published a book on Amazon and I've even won a few awards in writing. So I was inspired by that knowledge, by my newfound knowledge in writing, and I wanted to share that with other people. That's what this class is for. Writing is for anybody, and anyone can take this class. It doesn't matter what age you are or who you are. Writing is for everybody, and I want to start a new world of writers. So let's do that together. To start your journey, please contact inkgenius@gmail.com, or I'll put it in the description so that you can find it. So let's begin. This is a basic summary of week 1, the introduction to writing. I'll just be telling you about a few techniques and tips that I learned to help with better writing. Number 1 is tip top. Tip top is to help you structure your paragraphs and your writing so that it's not just one block of writing, because that's just so annoying for the reader. It will come on the screen now. Basically, if there's a time, a place change, a topic change, or a change in the person or character focus, then start a new paragraph. My second tip to help with better writing is the 10 fingers. So the 10 fingers is split onto your 2 hands, 10 fingers. On one hand, you have who, what, where, when, why, and how in your palm. And this is basically just some questions that you should ask yourself as you're writing. So, who was the main character? How did it happen? Where did it happen? When did it happen? Why did it happen? Things like that. I'll put an example up now. And on your second hand, you have your 5 senses. So that's taste, touch, hearing, smell, and sight. And these are for descriptions, to help you have richer descriptions. So you just have to think, if you were in the setting, what kind of things would you hear? Would you hear birds? Would you hear screaming? Would you smell burning fires? Would you be able to... And for taste, it's not necessarily if you're eating something. You don't have to be eating an ice cream or a pizza. Sometimes if a smell is so strong, you might even taste it. Like the smell of the sea might create crystals in the back of your throat. Something like that. And now for some basic planning tips. In my planning, I find that it's so much easier to just write out what kinds of things I'll be putting. So put basic descriptions. If you spend too much time on planning, you might find that you've done a first draft instead of a plan, and that's not what you want. So what I do is I write introduction, and then I write the kinds of things I'll write in my introduction. Introductions, you mainly want to write a summary of what you're going to be talking about. Don't give away too much. Or the first action, like the first scene in a play. And then the middle, or the body as some people call it, is where all this stuff happens. And I split it into paragraphs. So for every paragraph, I start a new line and write about what kinds of things I'll put there. But just 2 or 3 lines is fine. And then the end, the conclusion, is a summary of what you've written or the last action. And you can leave that on a cliffhanger or whatever you would like with that. But just make sure you make it clear what you're going to do in your plan. Metaphors and similes help with your descriptions. They add more. You can use metaphors and similes use comparisons for descriptions. So if you're describing a monster and you compare it to maybe a dragon, but it's not quite a dragon, then the reader kind of knows what they're supposed to envision, right? And the difference between metaphors and similes, not a lot of people know it actually, is that similes use as and like. So as fast as lightning, or as quick as a flash. But metaphors, they say they have kinds of things like his expression was wooden or her heart is gold. They don't use as and like. I'll put a table now. So in the reading list for week 1 that I gave in the module, there's 5 books, but out of all of them, my personal favourite is Tom's Midnight Garden by Philippa Pierce. I love this one so much because it just has so many descriptions. I read it in school a while ago, but it's just so amazing. And the descriptions really help, and it really utilizes the 10 fingers that I gave you. So be sure to read it if you haven't done already. Thank you for watching, and like I said in the beginning of the video, writing is for anybody. I can teach anyone writing. I can help you. So if you're interested now, please go and send me an email and we can get started. Thank you.